Large-scale changes to Russia's military announced on Tuesday will include a creation of the Army Corps in a region that borders Finland. What does this mean for the world economy? Is the World War III right around the corner, and what exactly is Russia up to? Join us in this video as we cover all this and more. Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, has given orders to increase the country's army to 1.5 million servicemen in the next 3 years, as well as to create an army corps and 2 military districts near the border with Finland. In a statement released by Russian Ministry of Defense, the defense minister Sergei Shoigu has been quoted as saying Moscow would form an army corps in the Republic of Karelia, which lies next to its neighbor with which Russia shares an 830-mile border. Finland also has 2 regions, North Karelia and South Karelia, bordering the Russian Republic bearing the same name. All this commotion and tension started when Finland had announced its decision to join NATO. Putin was quoted by Russian news agency by saying he could not rule out that tensions would emerge in Moscow's relations with Helsinki and Stockholm over their joining NATO. The Soviet Union had invaded Finland in 1939 in what became known as the Winter War. Following a peace treaty in 1940, the countries clashed again in the Continuation War that began in 1941 and lasted until 1944. Russia had warned that it would be forced to retaliate if Finland joins NATO, claiming that it would be a radical change in the country's foreign policy. The Russian Foreign Ministry had said that if Finland joins NATO, Russia will take retaliatory steps, both of a military, technical, and other nature, in order to stop threats to its national security. This comes after Finland's president and prime minister expressed that the country should apply to join NATO without delay. If Finland does join NATO, the land border that Russia shares with NATO territories would roughly double, as Russia shares land borders with 5 NATO members. Russia claims that the goal of NATO is to continue expanding towards Russia and create another flank for their military threat to their country. Russia and Finland have a brief history. Finland and Russia have a complex and often tense relationship, shaped by their shared history and proximity to one another. Historically, Finland was a part of the Swedish Empire and later on under Russian rule. During the Cold War, Finland maintained a policy of neutrality while still maintaining trade and cultural ties with the Soviet Union. This policy, known as Finlandization, allowed Finland to maintain its independence while avoiding direct confrontation with the Soviet Union. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union, Finland has sought to strengthen its ties with the West, becoming a member of the European Union back in 1995. However, it still maintains its close economic and cultural ties with Russia. In recent years, the relationship between the two countries has been strained due to a number of factors, including the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, the annexation of Crimea by Russia, and the imposition of Western sanctions on Russia. Despite these tensions, Finland and Russia have continued to engage in dialogue and maintain diplomatic relations. Retaliation by Russia. Shoigu, the defense minister of Russia, also announced 3 motorized rifle divisions in the ground forces and 2 air assault divisions in the airborne forces, as well as 2 new military districts in both Moscow and Leningrad. He also said that Vladimir Putin has decided to increase the size of the armed forces to 1.5 million servicemen, which followed a proposal announced after a meeting of military's top brass. Russia's military has grown to over 1.15 million personnel, with further expansion planned over the next 3 years, according to Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. He has stated that this growth will require leaders in the military to make competent decisions to ensure the success of the expansion. Petri Makala, a Finnish military and security expert, had told Newsweek that Shoigu's announcement had not become a part of discussions in Finland yet, and that the current situation is that the border area has less Russian troops than ever before. Along with an increase in the army, the Russians are also planning to turn 7 brigades into motorized infantry divisions, and strengthen the combat component of the Navy, the Air Force, and also the strategic rocket forces. The decision followed Russia's invasion of Ukraine and has prompted Russian neighbors to appeal to NATO for additional security guarantees. Some have said that Russia would target countries in the Eastern and Northern Europe that have condemned the war and joined international aid and sanctions efforts. A communique published at the NATO summit in Madrid said that the accession of Finland and Sweden will make the allies safer, NATO stronger, and the Euro-Atlantic area more secure. Washington has already shown that it supports the move, which would see the Western Alliance grow to about 32 members. The U.S. State Department officials had said that discussions had taken place between NATO leaders and foreign ministers from Helsinki and Stockholm. The war has led to the deployment of more NATO troops on its eastern flank and a rise in public support for Swedish and Finnish membership. Finnish MPs are expected to receive a security report from intelligence officials. Prime Minister Sanna Marin had said that the government of Finland would take a little further time to make an informed membership application. Finland was rattled by the invasion of Ukraine. Sweden's ruling Social Democratic Party, which has traditionally opposed NATO membership, said it's rethinking this position in light of Russia's attack on its western neighbor. Party Secretary Tobias Bowden had said to the locals that the NATO review would be completed as well within the upcoming months. When Russia had invaded Ukraine, Sweden's security position changed too. Moscow has been clear that it opposes any potential enlargement of the alliance. Mr. Peskov had warned that this alliance would not bring about or ensure peace and stability, and its expansion would not bring additional security to the European continent. Maria Zakharova, Russia's foreign ministry spokeswoman, warned of military and political consequences if the countries join hands with NATO. What and who is NATO? NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance of 30 member countries from North America and Europe. It was established in 1949 as a means of providing mutual defense against the Soviet Union and its satellite states in the aftermath of World War II. The foundation of NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty, which was signed on April 4, 1949 in Washington, D.C. by a representative of 12 countries: Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The treaty outlined the principles of mutual defense and collective security, stating that an armed attack against one member would be considered an attack against all members. Since its inception, NATO has grown to 30 member countries, with the most recent additions being Montenegro in 2017 and North Macedonia in 2020. The organization is headquartered in Brussels, Belgium, and is led by a Security General, currently Jens Stoltenberg. NATO's main purpose is to provide collective defense and a security for its member countries. The organization operates on the principle of collective defense, meaning that an attack against one member is considered an attack against all members. In the event of an attack, each member has the right to take whatever action it deems necessary, including the use of armed force, to restore and maintain the security of the North Atlantic area. In addition to its collective defense mission, NATO also plays a key role in crisis management and peacekeeping operations. The organization has been involved in a number of peacekeeping and humanitarian missions over the years, including in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, and Afghanistan. NATO also plays a key role in promoting cooperation and coordination among its member countries, particularly in the areas of defense and security. The organization works to improve on the interoperability of its member military forces and to develop and implement common defense and security policies. One of the most important aspects of NATO is the principle of collective decision-making. All decisions within the organization are made by consensus, meaning that all member countries must agree before any action can be taken. This helps to ensure that the organization acts in the best interests of all its members and promotes cooperation and coordination among them. In recent years, NATO has faced a number of challenges and criticisms. One of the most significant challenges has been the changing security environment in Europe, with the rise of new threats such as terrorism and cyber attacks. Another challenge has been the changing political landscape in Europe, with some countries questioning the continued relevance of the organization and its role in the region. Despite these challenges, NATO remains a vital and important organization in the world today. Its commitment to collective defense and security, as well as its role in crisis management and peacekeeping operations, make it an essential partner for maintaining peace and stability in the North Atlantic area and beyond. So what do you think about Russia's latest decision to attack Finland in the crisis-flooded situation? What is a better way to handle such situations according to you? Let us know in the comments section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash the bell icon to stay updated on all news, movements, and updates regarding geopolitics.